Hi, everybody. Let me just make sure I'm on. Hang on. How you doing today? Buffering. Oh, not yet. Happy Wednesday. Is everybody keeping the quarantine crazies at bay? Oh, there I am. Okay, cool. All right. Awesome. All right. Well, thanks for joining me today, guys. I am interviewing a new friend. I was going to say she'll be a fast friend, but I say that about everybody. So last week I had the amazing Madame Eskew on. Notice I am not donning the tiara, and my friend Mindy does not have her tiara on either. Although we could have done that. That would have been fun. This is a shop owner. I like to get the perspective of three different people in the featherweight world. So I have a talented end user. That was Madame Eskew. I have had some shop owner friends on so they can give us an update as to what's going on in their corner of the US. And then I've had some colleagues on. So those are kind of the three little buckets I like to drop everybody in. For me, it's all about highlighting other female-run, female-owned businesses. If you're joining me, you can text in where you're from. Hi, guys. Hi, Helen. Victoria, hi. Nice to see you. Or read you, actually. That's more technically accurate. And Rose. How you doing in Nashville, Rose? Actually, you're with your parents still. I don't think it's Nashville. But anyway, so I'm going to get my friend on, and then we're going to chat. Because this is, hold on, I made a little slide. Hold on, let me show you. Oh, look at that. Look what I did. Hashtag Boss Babe Shop Talk. All right, let's go to Mindy. Hi, Mindy. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. This is Mindy Lennon from Quilting Mayhem in Snohomish, Washington. Probably one of the biggest, nicest quilt shops I've ever stepped foot in. I am their amazing featherweight teacher. Hello. But I wanted to get Mindy's perspective on some stuff with quarantine. But why don't you go ahead and just introduce yourself real quick?
Hi, as you said, I'm Mindy, and my shop is Quilting Mayhem. We are located in historic downtown Snohomish, so we're on 2nd Street, kind of the main drag through town. It is a 17,000 square foot building with just over 5,000 bolts of fabric, plus Bernina, handy quilter, long arm rental, machine service. We have retreat rooms for rent, classes, everything. We've tried to cover the entire gamut. So we just celebrated 5 years of being in business, and just super excited to be on this with Darlene. So thank you.
I kind of found them on happy accident. Some of you ladies know, I used to live in Arizona. We started our business in Arizona, but we're from the beautiful Pacific Northwest. And when we did our 4-year stint down there, Featherweight Doctor started, and I had been doing some teaching down in the Southwest. And when we moved home, I kind of looked around at the various opportunities that I had taught at previously, because again, from the Pacific Northwest, and I kind of just picked up with some of the classrooms I had left off with. Unfortunately, some of them closed, which was really sad. But honestly, I didn't even, Snohomish to Redmond is not that big of a jump. It's like, what, 20 minutes, Mindy?
Yeah.
But I just thought, oh, that big majestic shop, they for sure have someone that does featherweights. And so I wasn't home, was it 6 months or so? And I think I got a call from either Trina or Lori. I can't remember which one of them. And they're like, hey, do you do featherweight classes? And I'm like, well, yes, I do. Or maybe I called you. Now I actually can't remember. We met at you and I met at the Everett.
We met at one of the shows. Yeah.
But I can't remember how we all got together, but it's neither here nor there. She has, ladies, one of the most amazing classroom setups I've ever seen in my entire life. Sunday, Featherweight Doctor is going to have a quilt camp at her beautiful location. And if you have never been to Snohomish, Washington, it is one of the cutest little downtown areas. They have amazing restaurants. They have great antique stores. I really can't say enough. What my favorite thing to do is to stop by Quilting Mayhem in Snohomish and then go poke around on the waterfront at all the little shops.
Yeah,
But
I love town. It's great for visiting and of course quilting, but lots of fun shops to visit.
But this flagship, I called it your store flagship. It is amazing. It's not your first stop. This was your second shop, right, Mindy?
Right. Yes. So I started down on First Street, so just one block below on really the main drag of all the cute little shops in about 3,000 square feet. And it was in less than 2 years that we figured out we had already outgrown our location. We only had one little classroom that also tried to share space with our rental and just a couple sewing machines. So we went and we just decided go big or go home. So we
oh, she went big.
go big, 5 times bigger. Yeah. So essentially our what we call our fabric room here now is the same size as our first store. And it was adorable. I love that location, but we definitely needed bigger.
Yeah.
So
I was teaching one Saturday, and Krista Moser, who is a very well-known designer and teacher here in the Northwest. I'm not sure of her national audience, but I know everybody knows who she is here in the Pacific Northwest. And so I had my workshop on one side, and Krista has her 30 plus women on the other side. And I just walked over to her and I'm like, I am sorry. I have to yell in order for, some of these ladies to hear me. And it was like, your big cavernous room. And she was so nice about it. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Because you can run 4 huge classes at a time in your space.
Yeah. At least we've run, I think, up to 5 or 6, sometimes we share we have an event room that's about 3,000 square feet on its own. And so we put those of us that don't mind sharing the room in our classes that are a little more easygoing, we'll share. And so we'll run, 5 or 6, we'll run major long arm events and classes all at the same time. And really, you don't know who else is in the building.
Yeah. There's elevators and many restrooms, and that Saturday where there was like 4 major events, there was like a Kimberbell embroidery design event and a private retreat, and me and Krista, like that was the only time I've ever even seen the parking lot full. But I mean, we all made it work. We were all just happy to be there and to be, supporting your business and being educated in whatever that we were there to learn. So
yeah, we love it. We love that we pretty much don't have to say no to any idea we have. We had a long arm event. It had 12 machines actually here on site. Can you house them? You betcha. We got elevators.
Amazing.
It's nuts. But yeah, just to see, the rooms with that many actual full long arm machines all doing an event. It's been fabulous to actually have that capability here to just do whatever we want. You want to do an embroidery event? You bet. You want to, whatever, have a retreat. We did our first VIP retreat. We had 55 people.
That's crazy.
For 3 days,
And sure, they have some kitchen space too. So like if you need to do food, or they have like the commercial oven and the sinks and the thing. And again, someday Featherweight Doctor is going to do a very nice event there. I just need to get out of quarantine before I can put it together.
Right. But you'll love it. You get your own 6-foot table, you get your own, cushy roller chair, we try to make it so you're actually comfortable and having a good time when you're here.
Of all of the classrooms that I teach at, I think yours, once here in Washington, we moved to phase 3, I think we can have more than 10 people in a room, but I think that it is going to be the easiest in your setup because of the size of the rooms, in order to be respectful of those social distancing boundaries. So I actually, for those of you in the Seattle area, just got some featherweight workshops on the calendar with Lori earlier this week. I believe I'm teaching August 10th, which is a Saturday, and October 22nd. You guys will think this is funny. I was emailing her some dates, and I told her I wanted October 32nd. She goes, Darlene. And I'm like, well, it might feel like we have 32 days in. Since May has had 900 days.
never ended. I just won't.
So for those of you in other parts of the country who can move around a little bit more freely, we here in Washington are not there yet. So, and yet we don't even have a date as to when that's going to be. So sorry, the pity party's over with. Okay, we're done with that. I have a quick question. I'm going to just interrupt Helen from Bellingham. She said she does have a question. Let's just answer that real quick. Maybe you have some ideas too, Mindy. She said, what method do you two guys recommend for labeling quilt parts while you're sewing, like quilts with millions of different pieces? I thought that was a good question. What would you say, Mindy?
Oh my gosh, I am the queen of like Ziploc baggies and a Sharpie. So I will have, because I do a lot of English paper piecing and foundation paper piecing, and a lot of that stuff will have millions of parts. And so I go to the dollar store, I buy up cheap Ziploc baggies, and I just package, and that way I don't have to worry about my children running through my room.
That doesn't happen. The dog doesn't ever knock anything over, I'm sure.
No, all that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, I am the queen of the Ziploc baggies. That's me. Yeah.
I do the Ziplocs too, but sometimes I feel bad about the level of plastic that I'm using. And I try to recycle them into other things, but I have used the filing system with like a file folder and folded 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper in half, and then sorted it like a file folder by fabric or piece. I know that those quilts that do like the horses, they're like all fusible webbed back things, and you kind of form out the horse's face. I'm totally drawing a blank on what they're called, and it is literally like a million pieces. I've used, that type of system, or I follow a gal locally that lives in Mukilteo who does a monthly block of the month. And so I don't know, I buy all the fabric at the beginning of the year, and I don't know what I'm going to need for what month, because it comes to me 30 days at a time. And so I'll use the Ziploc bag for Roxanne's stuff too. So, all right, Helen, that's a good question. Thank you. All right. So
Darlene.
Yes.
Miss Roxanne, who you're following as a block of the month, she was my very first quilt teacher.
She is a legend. She's a legend.
She is, and I love her to death, and I love every time I see her. I tout praises that she is the one that taught me everything I know when I very first started. So
I've never met a woman who can write to any level of student, whether you literally haven't constructed your own a quilt yet, to a mastery level expertise quilter. Her patterns are written for everybody to be able to interpret and understand. And one of the things that I love about her block of the months is she uses tools like the kite shaped cutout, and some other various types of like paper piecing with freezer paper and stuff I would never actually attempt in my studio, even with 24 years of quilting under my belt. But she makes me try it, and I always take something away from it. And sometimes that something is, I never want to do that ever again, but not.
That never happened.
But she makes me. And for that, I love her. And I miss spending time with her in this season. I miss spending time with all of those ladies that I hang out with once a month. They're like moms that I would choose to be if I pick. I have wonderful mothers, don't get me wrong. I have a great mother-in-law, great mom. But if I picked someone, these ladies would be that for me, because each of my mother and my mother-in-law live out of state, and so I don't get to spend as much time with them as I'd like. But yeah, she's so awesome. I love her.
Yes.
So tell me how things have changed for you and yours there at Mayhem in this season.
Oh, so many changes. It definitely was a crash course. Because up until the official closing, as things kind of clamped down and rules tightened, we were fortunate that we are big enough that we could keep doing the social distancing and the cleaning. And so we were fortunate to be able to stay open about as long as humanly possible before the closing. And then, of course, when that occurred, we didn't have a lot of online presence. So it was that scramble of, okay, now it's just me, because I wasn't, supposed to have employees and some of those, figuring out all the rules. And so it was me and my mother, for the first couple of weeks. And she's still here. I can't get rid of her. Love that woman to death. She's amazing. She has been just, oh my God, she's a trooper. I don't know how she's doing it. But really, maybe she'll get paid once.
Mindy, la 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 la.
She gets paid in fabric. She's happy. But yeah, we started getting creative. It was okay. So it was Mom and I, because I couldn't have anybody. So we started doing inventory and cleaning up everything, and really got on top of our website and then our social media presence that we did a decent job at. But it was okay. Everybody's at home waiting for new fun stuff. What's the inspiration? You have all this time to sew, and so what can we contribute to it? And of course, I had always wanted to do YouTube videos and those kinds of things. So it was to that point of going, well, nobody's in the store, so let's try it out. So I have my teenage son who loves dealing with cameras and videos, who comes and deals with me, and the will be a lot of fun when it's, I don't know how many times I'm like, save that. That's going to be a really good blooper later on. But I've been thankful. Everybody's been so supportive, because it's nerve-wracking to do a video. For me, it's nerve-wracking just to be out there and just, actually put myself out there. And so we just did it. And then the sew-alongs we're doing, oh my gosh, I think we're on sew-along 5 or 6. I've lost track.
Aren't they fun? I love those.
They've been amazing. Like the very first one, I just paid the designer. I was like, no, I'll just pay him, because really we only ever get 20 people. We don't get that many people.
Right.
I'll just pay for the pattern. 150 people later.
Oh no.
And a really large bill later. I was like, okay, this was a lot of fun, but I didn't
have to come up with our own content.
Oh yeah, it was amazing how many people just loved it, and that's what they wanted, and we still get all kinds of compliments, and I just love seeing what people do. The layouts, they're like, I don't like the layout you gave me. Here's what I came up with, and oh my goodness, the creativity of people out there. And so it's nice to see everybody still functioning as a community, not here in the store, which is very weird we're just very used to, we're tactile people. We want to touch, we want to feel, we want to see, is it true red, blue red, and trying to help people over the phone. And it's been a challenge, and we've done virtual shopping for a lot of customers. We've done video shopping. Here's photos.
Oh, that's fun.
And, I don't know how many of my customers have my cell phone number now. It's
I know. I find myself giving my phone out more these days than.
But you have to.
Well,
that's
what are you supposed to do? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, so can I just send you pictures? And so it's definitely been a new level of connection with customers, and we're just trying to be there for people in supportive while we can't be open, and just being there and saying, just have patience. We'll get there. We'll get back to whatever the new normal is, but we have the room. We'll be able to distance and and we'll have the classes. Don't worry. Yeah. We're not going anywhere. I got a big building to take care of.
Yes, you do.
I own it. So don't worry. It's not going anywhere, but
my friend Melanie wants to know, just to reintroduce you real quick, because she came in late. So Melanie, this is Mindy Lennon from Quilting Mayhem in Snohomish, Washington. I teach at her location under the Featherweight workshops. And so I invited her to join me today. So that's who we're talking to. Okay. Thanks, Melanie. Mary from Seattle is on. Hi, sweetheart. All right. Well, I know for me, being a mostly in-person person also, it's been a challenge trying to convert over to, using this type of a forum, interviewing friends of mine across the country that have similar interests than I do. And the sew-alongs have been really fun. And I just know that for me, I'm just missing my students and being in a classroom. And there's just, as a teacher, there's nothing more exciting than kind of seeing that moment when the light comes on for someone and they realize that they can like either quilt something they didn't think they could, finish themselves, or they can work on their antique sewing machine, and they know if it starts doing something, they know how to troubleshoot it. And it's just that you miss that connection when you're, on a camera, on a phone. Although I've had like the nicest conversations with people. I mean, you can tell everybody is just wants to chat. And, like I talked to this wonderful lady named Lisa today, and where is she from? Lisa is from Connecticut. That's right. And she has a very unusual last name. So I recognized it immediately when she called the shop, and we just had a great chat. Everybody just wants to chat. And I love that because I want to chat also. So it feels a connection for me too. So, all right. Well, I think we're going to wind down because we need to jump onto Instagram, but I want you, Mindy, to tell everybody on how to find you. Are you running any specials? Real quick too, before you even get to that, I'd like you to tell everybody what kind of the flavor of your shop is when it comes to at least fabric assortment. I know each owner tends to kind of pull towards what speaks to them. So what would you say? I know how I would say your shop, what the flavor of your shop is, but how would you put it?
I know we started out definitely leaning, we're more modern, bright. We try to fill kind of that blender need of all different colors. We did start getting into, some Cafe and some French General and try to fill some of those needs because unfortunately, as some other shops potentially have closed, we're just trying to make sure that we're here for everybody, which is really hard to do because they keep telling me I can't have it all. I keep trying to have it all.
I don't like it when people tell me that.
I know, it's not fun. But we're definitely just fun. Our walls are yellow and we have teal accent. I mean, we like being just bright, cheerful. And we do try to have a little of everything, but definitely we're more on the modern side.
One of the things that, there's several things I really like about your shop. Classrooms are amazing. You also put out a full color brochure of classes, and it's like not just regular classes. I mean, it is like the gamut, the encyclopedia of class offerings because of your space and how you can, fit a lot of people. And I've also noticed on the rare occasion when I'm stuck or I need assistance, your people are amazing. Like they're so knowledgeable and good with color and measurements, and they know the shop like the back of their hand. I appreciate someone who can direct me to exactly what I'm looking for with, a few minor instructions. So I think your staff is a real testament to the type of owner you are. I mean, you have good people, so therefore you must be good people. So
thank you. I know I have the best staff because when everything happened, they stood by me. I did not really have anybody abandon a ship. They all stuck by me. And I am so thankful that they've been here in what we call all the mayhem. I mean, our hashtag is embrace the mayhem. We live mayhem every day. If you happen to be here, because we are doing appointments, some of these customers I think have really seen just what we've really got going on right now. It's crazy trying to keep up, but we are.
Very cool. Well, if when we're allowed to come back into the shop, and you have a Featherweight club that meets there each month. I think it's the third Wednesday or Thursday of the month, and it was supposed to be kind of handed over to me when all of this started, and so that has yet to happen. But that is a club I am at every single month outside of quarantine.
Yep. We'll get back there.
I will be there with my tool bag and my sewing machine. And so if you are local to Snohomish, you'll always find me at their Featherweight clubs. So,
all right. Your spa day. Don't forget that. We love having your Featherweight
spa. Oh, my workshops?
Yes.
I made your tables messy one time, though.
You're not alone. That happens.
That's what happens when you start unpacking an antique machine. I tell
Right.
people to bring towels and stuff, but
Oh, it's okay. That's
I
what
had
we're
my
here
Lysol wipes the last time before we got, before
for.
we got shut down. I made sure every one of those tables was spick and span.
Yeah.
All right, so tell everybody how to reach you. Tell them your website, your phone number.
Yeah,
How are you, processing orders and
absolutely.
calls?
Yeah, so online ordering and just searching what we have, all our fabrics and notions are all on the website. So quiltingmayhem.com, and mayhem is Mayhem. Quiltingmayhem.com. Then make sure you go sign up for our newsletter. We do a weekly newsletter that definitely keeps you up with classes, fabrics, events. We do just everything, Kimberbell and OESD and Bernina and Handy Quilter, just everything. And it'll keep you up to date with all our specials. And then, of course, Instagram is quilting_mayhem. Facebook is Quilting Mayhem. I mean, we've tried to keep it consistent. You can always email. You can email info@quiltingmayhem.com if you want to make an appointment. We have somebody at home acting as a scheduler. So you can try to schedule a 1-hour appointment. We're doing it 4 days a week. That way, the other couple days are for my employees that aren't comfortable working around customers, and we kind of get caught up. So we're kind of doing that nice balance of 4 days of appointments, 4 days without, and we make sure that we have time to clean, and it's only 2 people at a time. So we're trying to be here for everybody. Just, reach out if you need anything. You can call us 425-533-2566. It's on our website. It's on Google, all of that. We are here. We're here 7 days a week, 10 to 3. So
Awesome.
There's always somebody to help.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. For those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Darlene with Featherweight Doctor here in the Redmond, Washington area. And you can reach me at my website, featherweightdoctor.com. If you have questions about your machine or inquiries about buying a machine, you can email me at info@featherweightdoctor.com. And I'm also on all of the social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. So if you haven't already, subscribe, or follow us. All right. I think I got it all in there. Mindy, thank you so much. Have a great afternoon. And I look forward to being in your store very soon.
It'll come.